Today I'm going to teach you on how to convert a tall pawpaw to dwarf pawpaw. You see, I learned this from someone and I said, let me experiment. I'm not doing this video for you to just pick. In short, I will post it after the end of the results. But first, if you see something like this in your farm or any proposed property you want to use for snail farming, don't remove it. But if you see this, any pawpaw that has flower is a male, and there is no fruit going to come out from it. The purpose of planting pawpaw in the farm is using the pawpaw seed as a vegetable or a fruit for the animals. They eat the leaf as vegetable and the seed as fruit. So we need them in the farm, that is, if it's available. So something like this is off. The instrument you need in the farm to do the conversion is just a knife and a hammer. Now, this is what I want us to convert there. We're still working. First of all, I did 10 coaches. It's supposed to be 12. You know, finance, when money is not there, you work according to your pace. Right now, I'm raising my fence to 14 coaches. Very high. And I'm building this 6 plot for Fulica, strictly Fulica, because I am strictly going to refinery business. So let's work on this pawpaw. Now, if you have a pawpaw like this, but please don't make sure it's too tall, something that is coming up. It doesn't tall so much that the tree is that strong. What you just need to do is put something like this. You make sure you shook the knife. Come closer, let's see. Yeah, you have cut it halfway. What am I trying to do? Just wash. Now you've cut this line down. Then you're going to cut this line too. Yeah. So what we have succeeded doing now is we have cut this pawpaw. So you can now bend this pawpaw to a direction you wish to bend the pawpaw to, and you wrap the base or the place you've cut so that when those areas are healed, it will heal and the pawpaw will have a bow to the direction you bend the pawpaw to, and that is, see, it's open. So if you bend the pawpaw like this now, it will bend. Come this way. Good. It has bent like this. You just have to bend it a bit. Pause. Pause. So when you have a stick like this, all you just need to do is you just have to wedge it. Now, originally, this pawpaw is supposed to grow up. It's a tall pawpaw. Then, right now, what you have done now, the pawpaw cannot be going straight to that direction. All you need to do now is to curve his head now, trying to face up, because all of them are locating the direction of photosynthesis, directing all growth to meet the photosynthesis. Now, with the way it is now, the pawpaw cannot really do well. So all he has to do now is to redirect his growth now facing up. That process of redirecting his face to face up, it has made the entire trunk dwarf. Automatically, that height that is supposed to attain, you have cut it off. It has met maturity. Now look at it. It's trying to flower, about to produce. Now it will still produce. You see food everywhere. It will produce, but it has become a dwarf. The growth that is supposed to attain to, it will not attain to it anymore. Now, how do I illustrate this? You know, when you feed a child from infancy with healthy, nutritious food, the child will be growing. But immediately you start feeding the child with food that doesn't have much nutrients, every time you give them gari, cassava, gari, fufu, akpu, it will make the child heavy on ground and become dwarf. If you do not relieve those food on time, that child's height will not be too much. It will be on a dwarf level, because the nutrient for the child to grow to maturity is not there. But it doesn't stop the child's age. The child is still the age. And when the child goes to the time of reproducing, whether girl or boy, they will still reproduce irrespective of their height. So this will still reproduce irrespective of what you just done. So what I need to do now is two things. Either you wrap this place with a nylon to cover it so that bacteria will not go inside, or you might leave it. But in this case, I will wrap it. Let's ID 2 months later. If you can remember vividly, we started this on 2 months ago, and we want to see how the pawpaw looks like now. A tall pawpaw has become a dwarf pawpaw. Now let's take a look at it. Look at the pawpaw. We cut it this way, we cut it this way, then we twist it and bend the pawpaw. Now this is the pawpaw itself. Now look at it. It has faces the direction going upward. That's photosynthesis. Remember, it was with some flowers. Now take a look at the fruit. The pawpaw is already fruiting. With this direction, remember this is the direction it is, and it's now looking up. Now look at fruit all over the pawpaw. Take a look at from this other angle. This is it. Now this pawpaw is now a dwarf pawpaw. Now remember, it has turned the face looking up to produce the food. Now let us talk about dwarfing pawpaw. Now if you take a look at this, I did not dwarf this. This pawpaw is going upward. Look at the direction, look at the size and the height of this pawpaw. Look at it. It's already producing food. It's very close to my face. Now come on. I cut this one. I cut this one, 1, 2, and I twist it to face this ground. Now come, take a look at this. These are fruits. Look at fruits. Look at fruits. Look at fruits. Look at fruits. And now look at the direction of the pawpaw. He twisted his head here facing up to locate photosynthesis. Without photosynthesis, crops will not produce their food. Now take a look at it. Now this pawpaw is touching the soil. Take a look, a very close look, facing up. He twisted his head here facing up to locate photosynthesis. Look at the pawpaw already producing. The pawpaw already producing. Pawpaw already producing. Now, one thing you need to understand, not dwarf, both of them are from the same source. Take a look at the root. This pawpaw and this pawpaw are one. They just came out twins. I decided not to dwarf this. I decided to dwarf this. Now, at this level now, this pawpaw is producing here. Take a look at the fruit that this one carries. Take a look at the fruit that this one carries. Before this one will produce this kind of food, it has gone higher than my fence. What am I trying to say? S&T snail production, in terms of snail farming, we do everything practical. We don't believe in people talking, coming to talk. When you carry pawpaw, when you cut pawpaw into two, the upper side is a male pawpaw, the down part is a female pawpaw, or the down part is female pawpaw. All those stories are just meant to satisfy people who want their ear to be tickled. We do what we call practical experience to really be sure if truly pawpaw can be dwarfed that way. But we find out that it's not true. I have practicalized it for you. I have dwarf pawpaw everywhere. So what does this experiment tells you? What this experiment tells you that you can plant any pawpaw you see. Any pawpaw you see, snails need pawpaw leaf. How do we get pawpaw leaf in the farm? We try to look for, okay, we're looking for dwarf pawpaw. They've sold numerous nuisance seed to us and they call it dwarf pawpaw. My brother, as it is now, you don't need to worry yourself about looking for dwarf pawpaw, looking for dwarf pawpaw. There's no longer dwarf pawpaw. There are dwarf pawpaw, but what I mean is for you to know the seed that is dwarf and tall is difficult. They sell any seed to you and tell you it's dwarf pawpaw. So right now, I am telling you that in your farm, buy pawpaw on the street, cut it, remove the seed, and throw it in your farm. Let pawpaw be growing everywhere. When they've grown to a particular size like my height, then you dwarf all of them, and they will all become dwarf pawpaw in the farm. Look at it. They will all be very, very close to the ground and start producing. Remember, the leaf is for the animals, which is the snail, and the fruit, when they ripe here, they will drop. The snail will eat them here, and they will keep ripening. Once, if you go to the farm, you can just cut one and just eat your pawpaw. Now, this is the realitical experience in dwarfing pawpaw. You can dwarf pawpaw anytime, any day, any species can be dwarfed. There are species that are really dwarf, but how do we identify them? How do we know them by their seed? It's difficult. Many people have deceived us. So I went into this experiment and I said no. Now let me show you some pawpaws that I have dwarfed in the farm round. My name remains Engineer Theocracy, your Ashatini Culture, the Inspector General of Philon Mollusca, the practical experimental engineer, the practical farmer, the practical snail merchant. Once again, contact us when it comes to practical. See, let me tell you, we are to direct you from the beginning to the end. We are snail farmer, no doubt. When it comes to snail versus ants, we have done experiment. When it comes to snails versus insects, we have done experiment. We keep doing experiment to prove some of these things true or false. Many are false, few are true. Thank you.
My name is Theocracy Lacrisa. I'm a farm. I am a very farmer. This is my farm. Do you like it? Bye bye.